Good morning.
Morning.
We are returning from recess. Hope you all had fun on the playground. This morning we're going to do a little bit change with the agenda. We're moving new schools. I believe it's section P. Is that correct, Ms. Hood?
I think that's right.
To the beginning of the agenda. Oh, I have one happy camper back there. Okay, you can put your arms down now.
Mr. Chair, before we get started in roll call, yesterday I should have said something and I didn't, and while we have probably a pretty good audience out there, I just personally want to thank this staff. You would not believe, I mean, since March of last year, the work that they've done, and recent Jenna taking over Sarah, they have, you're only supposed to work 40 hours a week. I can assure you that there's probably a few more hours than that's been put in. Joey and Brandon, and we got Stephanie and Brady in the office. I'm down. I still have a lot of folk out. As you know, Mary Taco retired. I have another one out that's ill. And this commission staff, you would not believe, without complaint, well, more or less. Without complaint, honestly, I can't tell you how much I personally appreciate the time and effort that this staff has put in. As you know, Ms. Hood works 20 hours a day anyway, but it's just been a real pleasure this last several months working with these folk.
They're good people. They've gotten the job done, and we can tell every 8 weeks by the materials we receive, the agendas. They're doing a great job, and not everybody's together, so that makes it harder. Instead of walking down to somebody's office, you have to email them or Teams call them or cell call them. So it makes it a little bit difficult to get that immediate answer, but it seems that they're doing a great job overcoming that. And, I ditto what you're saying. They're doing a fantastic job. I think the commissioners would concur as well.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Okay, folks, you ready to get started?
We are.
Okay, the first school is number 1 under P. New school is Boca Code, Boca Raton. Oh, you're the first school also? No wonder you were so happy. Yes. Yes, please. Introduce yourself for the record.
Dr. Todd Albert, from the founder and lead instructor at Boca Code.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Supporting a mini Wolfman Jack goatee,
Move to approve staff recommendations, Mr. Chair.
I have a motion by Mr. Wagner,
Second?
second by Ms. Bradley. We're in discussion.
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just was curious, do you have an intention to teach your courses online? I didn't see a submission for the online.
Yeah, when we resubmit at the end of this year for next year, we're gonna add some online courses.
Okay.
Right now, the plan is to teach in person
Sure.
with social distancing and all the precautions for COVID. If something were to happen, if policies were to change and we needed to shut down or not do things in person because of COVID, we would move online just for our local students. But our intent is to serve local students in the Palm Beach County area.
I see. Okay. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good idea, building a strong foundation first before venturing out there. Very good.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Wagner?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for being here this morning also. I had a question on the software engineering career track. So it seemed like your other programs were all 40 hours and this one is 400 hours. And so can you give us a little bit of background on this? And I read the program summary also as well as why you're having that, but help me understand it because it seems like it's so much different than the others.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So the career course is a 400-hour course. The students will come full-time, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday for 10 weeks, learn everything. This is a career change track. So a school teacher, for example, could come, learn everything that they needed to change their career to become a software engineer, including career resources, resume, and actual interviews with local companies at the end, as opposed to our short courses, which are more for either the introductory courses are for somebody who's just wants to like dip their toe or maybe add another skill to their current career, or to our advanced courses, which are for actual software engineers, web developers that want to learn a new technology or advance their skills.
Okay, very good. And then on your documentation, you had like the average developer salary was $87,000 a year.
Actually, for software engineers, the application is a little bit, we submitted this many months ago, but just in the last couple of weeks, I have new data. The average in Palm Beach County, the average salary for a software engineer is $108,000.
So if students graduate with this 400 clock hour program, what do we think the realistic starting wage for them would be?
Between 55 and 65K. I probably won't let my students accept a job if it was under 55K.
Okay. And are you going to help with placement?
Oh yeah, we already have companies lined up ready to hire our graduates.
Really? Okay. Well, I enjoyed reading your application. Thought it was well done.
Maybe a good future for coal miners.
Could be.
Right.
And pipeline
Yeah, if
workers.
anybody wants to attend, I'll give you guys 20% off, so just let me know.
Sorry, we can't accept that
Big no.
for the record.
Okay, full price is fine, just let me know.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
And today's your lucky day. You're last on the agenda, and all of a sudden you were
First
first on the agenda.
What a break. Just to clarify, is there any reason for me to stick around other than seeing other schools?
It's actually a learning, I mean, you could do what you want to do, of
Yeah.
course, but I always encourage people to come to these meetings, whether on the agenda or not.
Absolutely.
It's definitely a learning process.
Thank you.
So,
Mr. Chair, Mr. Williams is here.
let the record show that Mr. Williams has joined us. Welcome, Mr. Williams. Number 2, Coral Springs, we're on section P. We've moved the new schools to the beginning of the agenda. I don't think your audio's on. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Good morning, all.
Morning.
AT&T at its best.
Coral Springs Regional Institute of Public Safety,
Move to-
Lauderhill.
Move to approve staff recommendations.
I have a motion by Mr. Wagner,
Second?
second by Ms. Bradley. We're in discussion.
No one on the line.
Nobody there? They'll be calling in about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Discussion, any questions?
No, I'm sure they'll work with Austin to complete all the outstanding items.
Okay,
And I like that they have other 3 Florida locations also.
I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Elite Bartending School, Miami.
Move to accept staff recommendation.
A motion by Ms. Bradley,
Second?
second by Ms. Mulharen. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Faith Academy, Tampa.
Move to approve staff recommendations.
A motion by Mr. Wagner,
Second?
second by Ms. Mulheren. We're in discussion.
Mr. Chair, I had a question on this one.
Is there anybody here on the line? Faith Academy.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for accepting me.
Well, it was a debate if we were going to connect you or not, so. Just kidding.
Yes, I am.
Go ahead, Mr. Wagner.
Very good. Good morning. Thank you for being on the line. So on your proposal, you have, looks like 4 clinical locations, one that's 20 miles, one that's 10 miles, another that's 175, and one that's 240 miles. So help us understand the reasons behind those that are so far away.
The reason is that in my area, when I check, I couldn't get any clinicals. So when I travel, I get clinicals from the 240 miles away. But I am still working to get some to get closer clinical.
Yeah, that's important. And you're starting your school, it looks like, in Tampa. And so I know there's lots of places in the Tampa Bay area.
Yes, and I'm working on that hardly. I get a couple of offers already. That's what I'm doing. This is my plan.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Good morning. This is Nancy.
Good morning.
This is Nancy Bradley. My question has to do with the timing, to follow up with what Mr. Wagner had mentioned. Your first clinical comes pretty quickly, doesn't it, in the program? When?
My first clinical,
Yes. When do you anticipate students from the start? How many weeks from the start do you anticipate them being sent to clinical?
can you repeat this again for me, please?
Okay, say students, hypothetically, let's say students start classes March 1st. When do you anticipate after March 1st that students would be assigned to a clinical?
In 8 weeks.
8 weeks? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, because in PN it comes pretty quickly. So.
Yes.
Now, is this, based on what you have today, would the students be headed to a site that was far away or closer? Based on what you have right now,
Yes.
where, which way? Close or far?
Good morning. I'm the clinical coordinator, and my name is Walter. So I think I'm the best one to answer that question on behalf of Fifth Prep Academy. We're getting an affiliation with Catholic Hospice, where we have a nurse that will physically go to the clinical site. We will use Zoom, and the student will be able at the school campus to watch every single step the nurse gonna be doing. That's the best clinical we have for now. On top of that, we designed an online template that have everything that they could do before they actually watch the nurse going to the clinical center. So that although we cannot physically take them, but the nurse will be able to go, and the nurse will share her screen for the entire 8 hours.
So, to make sure I heard you correctly, you're talking about alternative modes such as Zoom and simulation, computer simulation?
Correct, but not just that. The nurse will physically go to the clinical site.
Unless they can physically
then-
go, yeah.
Yeah, we know.
So, I know right now it's very challenging with all types of clinical sites, and especially PN when you're going to long-term care and assisted
So
living and
hopefully-
those. Excuse me?
Hopefully things get better. Their first clinical gonna be fundamental. So, and that's not too hard. When the nurse go to the clinical side, they will be able to see all type of geriatric, all type of infection control, PPE. So hopefully by the time we get to acute care, we will have full access to the hospital.
Right. Well, I hope so too, because there's nothing like the real thing, as the old commercial goes. So, all right, I would ask as a contingency, because I'm sure it won't be March 1st that they're starting students. It'll take a while, that we,
Well, they're budgeting 18 students for their first class,
so, I mean, that's
a lot of sites.
a lot of sites.
I
That-
agree. I think there should be a contingency also. in
Yeah,
there for
a
the-
contingency on just giving us an update, if we grant the provisional and they complete all their contingencies, which I don't think they had a whole lot to do, but this is a big issue, and they're not the only school facing this. So I believe at the very least, as a contingency, that we ask the school to report to us on their progress with obtaining sites, as well as exactly what they're doing, how are they executing this portion of their program.
And also may I add on to your contingency, proof of purchase of simulation.
Right.
And
We will do so.
Mr. Chair,
Was that you, Mr. Williams?
yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
I cannot find any disclosure in the program, the catalog right now, and it looks like the catalog needs to be reformatted. So some sections are double space, some sections single space. It's hard to read. But as a contingency, I would like to make sure that the catalog is properly formatted and that there's full disclosure as to the possibility that these students would have to incur the costs, expense, and time and ability to travel to some of the further sites.
Okay, very good.
another follow-up question,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair. So also on your catalog, you're listing 3 faculty members in your catalog, and when I look at your credentials on your application, you're listing just 2. So if you've got faculty members listed in your catalog that the students are seeing, they need also be on your credentials document for your application. So I'll ask that you update that as well to reflect the 3 faculty that you've identified in your catalog, or correct the catalog if you only have 2 instructors, like your application stated.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I have a follow-up.
Okay.
For the clinical coordinator, I had a minute to think about this. What are you proposing to be done via Zoom?
The way we have the program designed, we design it into module. So they will come to the school, they will watch those modules, they will take an exam, they will do the demonstration at the school, the nurse will go to the clinical site, then they will have an opportunity to see the nurse applying all those modules that they learn. So that's the way we have it set.
So the nurse, what nurse? Is this, what nurse are you talking about?
We will have a clinical nurse, a clinical site nurse, a nurse that goes physically to the clinical site.
So you're saying that you could Zoom to the clinical site with a nurse who's working for the facility?
No, the nurse works for the school.
The nurse works for the school. And then the nurse
Yes.
would be permitted to go in there and Zoom.
Correct. That's what we have. The only why we don't send it because they want us to have the school license first before they sign the agreement.
Well, I don't know, it sounds like chicken and egg, but we need something to say that this is going to be allowed, because it sounds kind of like a HIPAA thing.
No, Catholic Hospice have this program. That's one of the clinical sites in South Florida that offer this program at the moment. So a lot of schools use it.
Mr. Chair, I would agree with Commissioner Bradley that I can't imagine this would be allowed from the hospitals, allow us to take video, to have an open video channel with patients.
So you have the hospital, you have the patient.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, this is HIPAA, there's no way.
Yeah.
No, it's
We've
not
never
the
had
entire
that.
hospital. It's Catholic Hospice. That's what we will do for the first fundamental.
Okay,
And husband.
before you start that, we would need to have written documentation between your institution and the hospital permitting this.
Right.
But do not start this unless we have that information.
Correct.
have to have
We
it
will
okay.
follow
Issue
your
the license.
recommendation.
Have it before we issue the license.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know if you heard what Mr. Ferguson, before we issue the license, we have to have that documentation.
Absolutely. Signed by the hospital.
So, okay, is there any, Mr. Wagner, Ms. Mulhern, you okay with the contingencies?
Yes,
We are.
sir.
Okay.
I got one more.
Go ahead.
So for the clinical sites, if they're so far away. they
Is your
need
mic
to-
on? Mike?
Oh, sorry about that. If they're so far away, they need to have documentation, I guess disclosure for the students
Well, that's what,
on how they're
that's what
going to
Mr.
get there.
Williams said.
The disclosure
Yes,
for the distance?
yes, he
Okay.
already stated that.
Furthermore, the matrix for the clinical sites, it need to be resubmitted, because some of the competencies that they have here, they're not applicable to the practical nursing program. So maybe they can rework that.
Okay,
And it does need to reflect the number of enrollments that they're going to have initially, which they do not. They only have 5. So if they're talking with an additional number of 18, they need to resubmit it that it reflects 18 sites, at least for the first 2 competencies in the program. I would add that as a contingency, sir.
okay, Ms. Mulhern, Mr. Wagner, you okay with that contingency? Yes?
That's
Yes,
fine.
sir.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Blessed day.
Thank you.
Number 5, First Coast Nursing Assistant Training Center, Jacksonville.
Move to approve staff recommendations.
Motion by Mr. Wagner,
Second.
second by Ms. Bradley. Discussion?
I'd like to ask them a question. I think they're on.
Do we have people? Good morning, First Coast. Are you with us? I'm looking at the ceiling again.
Sorry.
They self-muted?
Good, they even raised their hand.
First Coast, are you with us?
Hello?
Hello, First Coast?
Okay, let's continue on.
I just wanted to ask them if they are going to continue their test prep, because that's what they were doing, and then they applied for a license, and so they're going to offer a nursing assistant training program, an official training program, and are they going to continue with their test prep? So I would like to get, is that them?
First Coast, are you with us?
Okay. Anyway, I'd like to add that as a contingency.
Sure.
Okay.
I have an
Okay.
idea they will, but let's ask the question.
Mr. Wagner, you okay with that
I am.
contingency?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there any further
Mr.
discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir, Mr. Williams.
Under staff recommendation, certainly there's 3 with subsections, not the least of which include some verification of the actual name, the address of the facility, administrative positions, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know, should we have them come back to make sure these things are actually done and are appropriate?
Well, they will not get their license until these are done. The contingencies are met.
Because they got faculty listing and supporting instructional administrative personnel forms to verify there's sufficient faculty. All right.
Yeah, we'll leave that. I mean, some of these are normal are consistent contingencies with other schools. And we normally leave that up to the discretion of the executive director.
Very well. Thank you.
Hearing no further discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. K&E Medical Training Center, Fort Myers.
Move to accept staff recommendation.
A motion by Ms. Mulheron,
Second.
second by Mr. Wagner. We're in discussion. That might be my computer making all those noises. Hearing no discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Number 7, Lamont Technical Academy, Winter Haven.
Move to approve staff recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Wagner,
Second.
second by Ms. Mulheron. We're in discussion. Oh, we have somebody live and in person. Second person of the day. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Introduce yourself for the record
My name is Tamika Ganzi.
and your position.
I am the owner of Lamont Technical Academy and instructor and yes.
You have the golden plunger too, don't you?
Yes.
Mr.
Well-
Chair.
Well, welcome. Go ahead, Mr. Wagner.
Good morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you.
So when I look at the proposed titles that you've listed, home health aid, medical admin, phlebotomy, and then medical coding and billing, help me understand, because medical coding and billing is different from all the other 3. How come you're doing that, and what's your background in medical coding and billing?
Well, I have 6 degrees, and a few of them is I have a bachelor's in healthcare administration, a master's in healthcare administration, an associate's in nursing, a bachelor's in nursing. And so in my background, I've also had a consulting company that did billing and coding for physician practices. However, the person who's going to be teaching this class, she also has a bachelor's degree in health information management, and she has certifications in coding.
Okay. How does it, I read in your application, help me with this, is there an externship for 180 hours?
There is
As part of the medical coding and billing, is that?
Yes, the medical billing coding program will have an externship. Right now, I have a physician's practice that agreed to let the students have their experience there. However, since then, I've had another company tell me that if I needed to have more students attend another location, they would be more than happy to go into agreement with me as well. However, I do want to keep my classes intimate, because I want to give that more one-on-one attention to the students so that they can be successful. I don't want to just have people come through a program. I want to make sure that they're getting the material, they're able to regurgitate it properly, they're able to be successful on their national certification and have a great career.
Mm-hmm. Is that a paid externship or unpaid, or how does that work with the students?
The one that I have set up now is an unpaid externship. However, they're flexible as far as the hours they come, as long as they meet the number of hours in the week. So if they need to work maybe 3 days a week, of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they can get their hours in more on Monday through Thursday. So I'm trying to work with companies that will give that flexibility to the students.
And is that externship at the end of their?
The very end, the very last 6 weeks of the program.
Is it guaranteed for all, if I go through your program and I have just 180 hours left, no matter where I am I going on an externship, or do I have to qualify to have a certain level of competency before I get to go out?
Well, there's, you have to have the competency. You have to be able to pass along the way up into that point. Also, there's another program that I've actually built with a developer that's also a 160-hour virtual internship. That I have that as well. I did not put that there. That's just something that we have in addition. If a student needs that extra attention, or we feel that they need more one-on-one type of simulation.
So I would have something in my catalog that gives you an out in case you have a student, because we offer this program also, that has a student that may not be at the right levels for them to go out and do the extra. That way you're not put in a corner saying, well, I've done all but 180 hours, now I need to go out on my externship. I mean, there should be some clause stating you can go out on the externship, but you have to have met these requirements, or it's up to the instructor's approval or something, so they're not saying, now's my time, and they're out and they're not ready.
We do have a matriculation stated in there where they have to not only finish the course but have the certain grade level, the grade percentage to get to that point. Also, there's criteria once they get to the externship that they have to maintain a certain percentage in attendance as well when they get there. So if a person is on an academic probation, they'll getting that one-on-one, and they're meeting weekly with their counselor anyway, so they'll be able to get off of that academic probation before they start their externship experience.
Okay, very good.
Is there any further, Ms. Mulhern?
Oh, I was just going to say, I gave your staff member just some suggestions for your online delivery, not requirements.
Thank
just
you. I
suggestions.
appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Mr. Chair, could I follow up with Ms. Mulhern?
Yes.
Okay, so this has probably already been covered, but I just wanted to just get a sense of, because you have every program is going to have an element of distance ed.
An element, correct.
An element.
Correct.
And it's a hybrid, so I understand that students will be coming to the campus.
Yes, ma'am.
And I didn't see it, it might be here. Is it clear how much is intended to be online and how much of is on ground?
Yes, we went through the attendance policy and how attendance work both in person and how attendance work online and the overall attendance. And we put that in also when someone has to go through like a remediation. Though if they fall below that, they'll go into remediation as well.
as far as your delivery of your course, any kind of a course, right now I'm in medical administrative.
Mhm.
So, I'm just looking at this, healthcare administrative office procedures, 120 clock hours.
Correct.
How much of that is planned to be delivered online?
For that program, that's 100% the medical administrative assistant.
Okay. And then, some of this I wouldn't know what it was. What about medical billing and insurance?
The medical billing and coding program is online except for the externship. That's the only thing that's not online. When it comes to the phlebotomy and the home health, those lab hours are in person and the theory hours are online. So all theory is online.
Okay. And I understand you're quite experienced, and your package is really, really good.
Thank you.
That is.
It's just, you have to really pay attention to those online students because not everybody is suited for online.
Correct. And that's why I'm really stringent about the attendance policy. As you see, if someone's not logged on, depending on the program, X amount of hours, then they automatically go into a type of an academic probation where you have a counselor meeting with you. What's going on? Is everything okay? Is there something we can assist you with? Do you need any type of assistance that we can maybe direct you to that's prohibiting you from being, in class on the days you're supposed to be in class? So we have systems in place to catch someone before they fall through the crack.
Mm-hmm. Does your software program allow for the attendance to be captured as the students are logged in?
Yes, ma'am. Poly schools, they capture the attendance as well for the students when they come in.
Okay. Well, that's good. And the whole key is being very vigilant, and every day you're checking.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you have small classes, that's not hard to do.
Correct.
And the faculty member would know if a certain person hadn't logged in or hadn't turned in an assignment, didn't participate in a discussion or whatever it happens to be, and to stay on top of them. So.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, for your medical billing and coding, you said that's 100% online?
No, that one has, the medical billing and coding has the externship at the end. So that one is going to be considered a hybrid.
Okay, so all the theory is online.
The theory is.
Okay, so let's say you get a student from Tallahassee, Florida, who enrolls in your program online. Who's responsible to get the externship in Tallahassee?
Well, before we are able to have a student, we'll make sure that we have the systems in place to be able to do so. And then that we'll have a designated person within the school to make sure that we're able to secure an externship for the student in that area. So a student will never be admitted into the program without knowing that we're able to work something out for them for their externship experience.
Is that in writing anywhere?
I have to look through and see.
I'll just make that a contingency. If staff will.
And we also have, I did not know if the virtual externship would be something that would be permissible, so that's why I had that on the back burner as an additional resource for the students instead of in lieu of.
Which program?
I worked with McGraw-Hill and I built an externship in which everything is virtual, so you can see them sitting at the desk, you can see the paperwork coming up, you can see the computer screen with everything there. Your boss is actually giving you an assignment to do.
Is that it? But is that, which program? Is that for the American Medical Billing and Coding?
Yes, ma'am.
So for that, are you going to also have it for the administrative assistant?
No, ma'am, there's no
the
externship.
administrative specialist?
There's no externship for that one.
I would not, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm familiar with that. In that case, my recommendation is for you to modify your program outline. Don't call it an externship per se. Just call it a final project or capstone project.
Okay.
That require a certain number of hours and it's lab heavy.
Okay.
And that way you will be able to fulfill that requirement. It's a very helpful environment. And
Correct. It is very, very detailed.
And if the students, if you do that, actually there's a couple of sites, if you do that and students choose to also sit for the certifications, those hours really can apply for that certification as well.
Okay.
Come out. There's a couple of them, okay?
And just to see how it would be, I actually designed the programs through not only McGraw-Hill, or Hill-McGraw, but I also put it in Poly Schools, and my instructors and I actually took the courses, took the programs. So we actually did the discussion boards, we did the tests, we did the quiz, we did all of that already, so that I know my instructors and we wanted to make sure that before we had our first student, we knew, one, what they were experiencing firsthand. Two, we had all kinks and questions ironed out before day one. And then day three, we could help them more intimately because we've gone through the same program that they're going to be going through. So we've actually taken the program already.
Very good.
Did you guys pass?
Yes. We all passed, but one good thing that it taught me was that I wanted to get my students so ready to go into the workforce that sometimes I was a little bit heavy on some weeks, and so I had to go in and kind of back out some things and maybe redesign so they can get the knowledge I wanted them to get during that section, but it wasn't so heavy in that week. So that was the major thing that we learned during that process.
Very good.
That's great.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Master Career Institute, Orlando.
Move to approve staff recommendations, Mr. Chair.
Motion by Mr. Wagner,
Second?
second by Ms. Mulheron. We're in discussion and we have visitors.
Good morning.
Your name, please.
Morning.
My name is Osvaldo Mahachini de Moraes.
And your position.
I'm the owner of the CIE Enterprises LLC, who is the partner of the Master Career Institute.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you so much for receiving us.
Ladies, introduce yourself.
Good morning. My name is Mariana Ribeiro. I'm also the owner of CIE Enterprises. We are married as well. And CIE Enterprises is one of the partners of Master Career Institute.
Good morning. My name is Claudia Mastandrea. I'm owner as well, the Master Career Institute.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Dr. Jose Otero, Otero Consulting Group. Just a quick clarification, CIE Enterprises is the parent company of Master Career Institute.
Thank you for that clarification. Discussion.
I just want to know what does CIE Enterprises focus on, primarily do?
We have a spa in Orlando for 7 years already. And we work with the beauty and waxing and eyebrows and all kind of cosmetology services for clients.
Thank you.
You thinking about going, Mr. Williams?
Well, I do need some work done. I can't lie.
You need to do something with your hair.
If next
you just
meeting he
kidding on
comes
us,
with
oh,
hair,
man.
you know why.
Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have
sir.
a good day.
Thank you, everybody.
Good job.
MedTech Academy, Pembroke Park.
Is it MedTech or MedTeach?
Smile, Bob.
Lynn's already done that.
Move to approve staff recommendations, Mr. Chair.
A motion by Mr. Wagner,
Second?
second by Nancy Bradley. We're in discussion. Hi, another one here today.
Yeah, thank you so much. My name is Galina, and I just would like to introduce kindly myself. First of all, I just would like to appreciate everyone, I'm so happy what I'm foreign person, and you accept my application, and I went through a lot of with the Miss Austin. She was my specialist of the program. She helped me a lot of, and part of my life, I'm nurse by myself, and I love human being, and I just would like to bring high quality life as well as health. And I think this is start of my school. It's just my mission, because the people to whom I'm gonna be provide this education, actually they limited with the ability, because the family, some situation, health, family situation, and I just would like to provide for them high quality with high quality of the, and with the high quality of the self-satisfaction. And for that reason, I make plan for my school is going to be so flexible classes, affordable, and my clinical part is going to be in my office. It's medical part, it's medical lab, and everything is set up around. Otherwise, we're doing cognition part, and after each chapter, after each class, the same way we're doing hands-on, and after completion, successful completion cognition part, we're going through the clinical part. And I thank you.
Okay, we're in discussion.
Can I start, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning. A little too much,
Your passion is very well received.
Thank you.
Okay, we appreciate the fact you care so much.
Thank you.
So what, you have income in
Yes.
your financial statement, so can you explain to us what you're doing now?
What we're doing right now, we actually, this is going to be last our business, what is going to be include. On a base, we start with the idea medical lab, and as well as fingerprint.
Okay, I'm not quite understanding what you mean.
Okay.
Like, what are you doing now? You have revenue, you have income.
Yes.
So
How revenue is coming? Yes. It's not the school not opening yet, of course, absolutely not. What I'm doing, I'm certified from American Heart Association instructor, and I provide all of them assigned discipline like basic life support, heart saver, and also for the medical professional advanced cardiology and life support. And based on this revenue, the same way, how can I establish, how can I see it's my connection with all of my idea, because the people come in with not like, yes, we knew one, we're not actually legally yet, but we see a lot of potential, because the people coming to my office back for renewal or coming for another businesses.
Okay, I understand now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how many students do you plan to enroll?
Okay, our facility, what we have presently, it's not so big, and we have limitation, just only 8 students, but it's not absolutely stop at me or some kind of effect, because I don't have a plan for beginning until I'm not gonna be found too strong too strong cognition part, for my student. After those, we're gonna be think just and take different location. But for now, not at all. It's more than enough for us.
Okay. All right. I know you put in a statement regarding your financial stability and plan
we
and so
actually,
forth.
Yes, I'm explain. We don't need any additional income except for stimulation. It just actually one hand I just wanna buy little more another because I not allow any my student to touch any patient until I'm not gonna be 100% confident what it's not anyhow it's going to be harm, because that is so, I can say, delicate part of program phlebotomy is so delicate, and for that reason we don't need any additional. We already set up with everything because medical lab, we have all of the necessary equipment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I had, Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
is there any further discussion?
Thank you so much.
All right, Mr. Chair, I think, and I looked at your faculty listing, I see you listed here, and you're also you're a registered nurse and also a certified phlebotomy instructor,
Yes,
right?
I am.
You did a good job on your application, so we appreciate you being here
It's
today.
myself, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, hearing no further discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good luck.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Number 10, MedCap Health and Beauty Institute, Orlando.
She will probably do very well.
I think so.
I do too.
Morning to this honorable commission. It's a blessing to be here again, to see you here. Today I represent MedCap Health and Beauty Institute. It's my own school. I am the president. I've been in higher education for about 35 years. I have a master's degree in education. I have a master's degree in business administration, and I'm also a consultant for higher education schools.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, move to approve staff recommendations.
Motion by Mr. Wagner,
Second.
second by Ms. Mulheron. We're in discussion.
Mr. Medina,
Yes.
have you applied to the Board of Massage?
Yes, I did. I applied. I met all the requirements except I need to be approved by the Commission of Independent Education. Once that is complied, they will give me the approval and I can be able to offer the program.
All right. And I see you have distance education as an element in every one of your programs.
That is correct, Ms. Nancy.
So what's your plan with that? What's your thinking?
Okay, COVID-19 has taught higher education leaders to implement distance learning, virtual training, and one of the reasons that I believe that these programs will be a good fit for our community is that there is still fear, as we can notice in the audience. There's still fear to be out there, to go to school, higher education for distance learning for theory. They will have in-person classes at the school for the practical skills.
Every program.
That is correct.
And how do you plan to log attendance?
Okay, since we're planning to do a smaller setting, we are going to be taking attendance. Every time they log in, we have it's going to be calculated and it's going to be keyed into their attendance sheets.
Okay. And of course, because of all your experience, you know that these clock hour programs are the ones that require, the exam or the registration with DBPR or Board of Massage. You have, that attendance needs to be very consistent, very accurate, because it's always subject to audit.
That is correct, Ms. Bradley.
And the online program that you're using?
The platform?
Yeah, the platform.
We're using Moodle. We have developed a Zoom because some people have different technology skills. We also have implemented WhatsApp and also FaceTime to meet the criteria of these classes due to the lack of knowledge of technology of our potential students.
So you're going to have basically 4 different platforms?
No, it's going to be, like I mentioned earlier, it's going to be more one-on-one. And we're going to try to accommodate the technology that's a better fit for the potential student. So if a student says, I'm not comfortable with Moodle, we'll go with Zoom. If not, we could go with FaceTime. We have a...
But how does this connect with your administrative software? For attendance, for example?
Yes. Since we're working on our projected registration or enrollments are going to be small, it's going to be easier to track. So we would have in the computer, we have a program that tracks the attendance for the students once they log in and they meet the contact hours required for the program.
Okay, so at one time, it's either this, or this. You're not doing all 4 at the same time.
I hope it's not all 4, but we are accommodating to be able to do all 4.
So how does FaceTime connect with your attendance tracking software?
Okay, what we have is we'll have an iPad, and then we would, for the attendance, we would have to track it in writing and then transfer it to the platform.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I have a follow-up question. So your faculty will need to know 4 different platforms to facilitate the online delivery.
That is correct, and that's part of the training process between my wife and I. She's also an educator as well.
Okay, so right now it'll just be the 2 of you.
And we have a person that works with us that also, because we have a other type of school, which is we teach English, we teach citizenship classes, and we prepare people for the GED. She is the person that we're preparing to work with that. She's already has followed up with us.
So every student will be separately learning asynchronously with the faculty member.
That is correct.
Okay.
Okay, like for example, the login, we say classes are Monday through Friday. Students will be logging in from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. They would log in and they would take their classes. If there would be students that cannot meet that, we have in the Moodle that they can log in, and weekly we are going to be we upload the contents of the topics that will be discussed to meet the hours, to meet the skills of each student.
Okay, so you do have the same curriculum, the same objectives for every course. All the outcomes are the same, no matter what the platform is.
That is correct,
And-
yes.
okay.
It's a lot of work, but it's going to pay at the end of the day. We're going to benefit our students, and we're not going to limit the opportunity of the people to move forward to enter our workforce, which is much needed.
Okay, I would just caution as you grow and you bring on more faculty members, that's going to become, I think, a little bit complicated. It might be simple now with a few students and yourself and your wife, but that is something you may want to consider as you move forward, just, whatever platform works the best for the majority of the students, and then hire and train your faculty and develop them based on that one platform, rather than trying to juggle four. I think that's going to be very difficult. The faculty members are not going to be highly skilled in any one area. They're going to be mediocre at all. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. I just mentioned the options that the students have, but the main one is Moodle.
Okay.
That's the main one.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mhm.
I understand. Okay. And I did send your staff member through Ms. Hood some suggestions for your online delivery, not requirements, but just want to let you know around the attendance and faculty hours, virtual hours, suggestions, things like that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Okay, is there any further discussion?
Mr. Chair, I just have one follow-up question. So you're coming out of the gate with 8 different programs, and 5 instructors. And so my question is, to me, it just seems like it's a lot to come right out of the gate. Some of these are giant programs also. What happens, are you going to run a program if you have one person go into massage therapy? Is the program still going to be continuing, or are you going to hold that one person until you get a cohort of 5 or 6 or 10 or whatever number that's going to be? How is that going to work? Because some of these can be hard to enroll. I offer all these programs, and some of them can be tough to get students in them.
Thank you for the question. I know it's a challenge. I can guarantee this commission that we have the capability to start working with 1, 2, 3 students and be able to have a small group that would be financially capable to meet the financial needs of the program and of the company.
Okay. So you're tuned into that. You're still going, no matter however many people are enrolled, you're going to offer the program. At the beginning, it could be tight for you. You're still going to have to pay that instructor, even though you only have one student in there, and it's not going to work out as far as making a profit for that.
I agree, and I've seen that for many years.
Yeah.
And I feel that we can make this happen. We can change people's lives one at a time. And the most important thing, the financial part is very important, but I have a passion for education all my life. That's why I chose this career.
All right, very good. No further questions.
Who do you have for admissions and marketing?
Ani Arvarez, she has worked with me for 3 years. Like I mentioned earlier, I have a company that teaches English, citizenship, GED classes, and these are continuing education classes. She's very experienced and knowledgeable. We also are affiliated with the Florida Post-Secondary Education, so that means that we're going to be on the ball with admissions and meet all the requirements.
Okay, so who's the business person? Who's your operations person in this?
I am the person.
Okay. I just want, I hear the passion. I'm over here.
I'm sorry.
I hear the passion, the one student at a time, if that's what it takes, and everything else. But at the end of the day, before you go bankrupt, okay, that can be very costly to you, and that will have impact on your other students if you have to close. So what Mr. Wagner brought up was a very excellent point, that you need to manage that very carefully. You should have, for new classes, new students coming in, this is only a suggestion, that you manage the population of your classes, because you could be running a class with one student and then you carry on. I don't know if you have wheels where if the next student starts the next time, they're combined or not, but you can lose a lot of money there that will take away from the rest of your institution. So you need to really have this down pat on how you're going to start your classes.
I want to clarify something because some of these classes have anatomy, physiology, skin, and if you have one or two students, you combine them, and that's what I was trying to say, but maybe I feel a little bit nervous or something of all the questions, but yes, I understand that, and I have lived the experience, and we have the plan to start classes so they can join the same topics that are related to the other programs. We could have 4, 5, or 6, and that's going to be financially okay. It'll be great.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none.
Just a follow-up, Mr. Chair.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Williams.
I know, Max Headgroom over here. Yeah, I agree. A lot of passion, beautiful work. I thought I heard you mention iPad earlier as when they log on, the ability to track them through the iPad. Are you issuing each student an iPad?
No, but we recommend them to have them, and right now they're tablets for even, I saw them $60 in Amazon, right? So, anybody can have a tablet or even a phone. But remember what I clarified, that Moodle is our main platform. We're just specifically clarifying that if we have a student that does not have the needed skills, we would use another option for this student so they won't be left behind.
Okay. I don't want to belabor the point because obviously I don't understand it as well as my peers, but I thought the issue was how would you be able to take attendance? And obviously if there was a program on an iPad where it registered them when they log on, that'd be one thing, even if Facebook is used. But if it's their own iPad, it's kind of hard for you to track it that way, especially if Facebook is being used, unless Facebook has a function that allows you to do that. But I'll just ask staff to get clarification on that. But the other thing is, when does the kit, uniform, and books charges become non-refundable?
Once they start the program and they're more than 3 weeks, 3 days, a week, or longer.
Okay. All right.
What's your billing period?
The billing period, we projected to be monthly. So
how long is your classes?
Well, we have programs of 170 hours. We have programs up to 1,200 hours.
Right, but what I'm saying is, you say you're going to bill them every single month. When are you charging their tuition?
It all varies on which of the programs it is. So, for example, if we were to talk about a cosmetology program, we're looking at $8,000.
And that's for how long?
This is a 10-month program.
Okay, so you're going to charge $8,000, a programmatic charge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I would look at your refund policy very carefully because after 3 weeks, you can't charge 100%.
Oh, no. I didn't refer to 100%. I thought the question was the uniform.
Well, he was talking about billing.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, we follow the policy for when they drop and, based on the requirements of CIE, state of Florida.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, for hard goods such as uniforms or whatever, that you can charge 100% for.
Correct.
But for the tuition, that you have to follow your refund policy.
Okay, I understand that part, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you. Have a blessed day to all, and thank you to the commission, to the staff members. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
The next school is number 11, Minika Skin Care Institute. I don't know if I said that right or wrong, but
Move to accept staff recommendation.
A motion by Ms. Mulheron,
Second.
second by Dr. Matos. We're in discussion. Hearing no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 12, I don't think I could screw this one up. Pop Vocational School, Palm Springs.
Mr. Chair, move to approve staff recommendations.
I have a motion by Mr. Wagner,
I'll second that.
Dr. Matos. There's a second, we're in discussion.
Mr. Chair, I had a quick question on the name. This is an unusual name.
Right.
Somebody here? Yep.
Yes.
Hi, Pop.
Hi. How are you guys?
Peachy.
So you guys don't understand the name?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Haitian. Papa mean, another word is for a quick start. So I put it short, Papa, a quick start. If you're Haitian, you more understand what it means. So I thought about it and I'm like, okay, it's a quick start. Cause I have a lot of, in my community, people came from Haiti. They wanna learn something and they have to start somewhere. You know, there's a lot of home health people, they will start as home health aides and then continue become a nurse and so far on. Yes.
No, it makes sense, and that's a good segue into other healthcare professions also.
Yes.
The home health aide.
Yes.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Williams.
I think I had this comment maybe 4 years ago. The reason for the name is understandable. Pop up, tap tap. All of our cultures different lexicon that's familiar to the members of that culture. But I want to just put it out there that when you put a name to a school, I would say in marketing, it's really the accessibility, the affordability, and the need for that program that you focus on in communicating to attract the students. But unless the person is going to open up their own shop, the name is also going to be the first thing that an employer or an agency sees as they consider an applicant, a candidate. And the cultural reason behind the name may not be known to that party. So you always want to make sure your student, when they present their credentials, as hard as they work, as hard as you work in preparing that student, that the name of the institution conveys strength, credibility, and it creates, quite frankly, a segue in versus maybe some people seeing it as more fun, comical, or not taking it as serious as the program you have designed from a marketing standpoint. So 2 things, attracting the students and opening the doors of where they're going to be employed are the critical things. And oftentimes it starts with the name.
Okay.
Valid
that's all I
point,
want.
sir.
Excellent.
Nancy?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm looking at your business plan and some of your thoughts regarding your budgeting and so forth. This is a well-written plan, but it's a plan, And like Mr. Williams said, it's all about execution of the plan and your thoughts that you may have regarding future plans. Anyway, my main question is, do you have a business, an ongoing business right now?
Yes, I have 2 ongoing business.
Okay, can you tell us about those?
Okay, the first business I have is since 2019. It's a multi-service. I'm certified. I'm a prepare immigration. I'm a notary. I teach immigration class U.S. citizen. And also I have a home health agency. I'm a provider with Medicaid for children with autism.
All right, so you currently have those businesses going, and are those the source of your capital that you're needing to start your school?
Yes, and I also work. I'm also a HR director. I work at a chiropractor, so I do HR with them, and I do their payroll also.
Okay, you're very busy.
Busy lady.
Yes, thank you.
And have you checked into the requirements to become approved provider by CareerSource?
Yes, I've been doing a lot of research. I've been making a lot of phone calls, but due to COVID, a lot of places I'm waiting for a response from them.
All right, because I know that you have indicated that as part of your business plan to be able to be a provider. And you've learned that you must have a license from CIE. So that's your first step.
Yes.
Yeah, I would make sure that I have researched all their requirements and made application according to their protocols so that you would be able to be included as a provider at some point. The other comment I wanted to make, and maybe other commissioners may have comments on this too, it appears to me that your budget, your projected budget, and that is CIE Form 606, is a little, I don't know what word I normally use on this, aggressive? How many students are you expecting as you?
The financial you're talking about?
I'm talking about the spreadsheet that is prepared on, it's one of the forms that you did for CIE. It's a spreadsheet that you put numbers in regarding your revenue for your first year.
Okay, because we have the reason why I'm a little bit aggressive, because in my community I'm well known, and I get a lot of customer always asking me for school. We don't have, for what I know, in the Palm Beach area, we don't have that much home health in school, and as far as me being in the community for so long, and that's why I did it like that, because I have a group of people always asking me where is a good school, especially when I already have a relationship with the community, and they trust me, so that's why.
Okay, well, it just to make sure that when it comes down to reality, that you are careful about the decisions you make.
Yes, I know.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's all I had, Mr. Chair.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you.
the last school on the new school agenda, number 13, is Repham Nursing Education, St. Pete.
Move to accept staff recommendation.
A motion by Ms. Mulheron,
Second.
second by Nancy Bradley. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're going to take a 10-minute break, and then come back and hit it hard. Okay, we're back from our break. We're going back to the beginning of the agenda. We've taken care of section P already. So if you're just tuning in, if you were a P, you could have missed your school. Application for annual license. We have 5.
Can we move to consent? So,
A motion by Nancy Bradley for consent.
Second?
Second by Ms. Mulharen. Discussion. Hearing none for consent. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Mr. Williams, do you have any to pull?
No, sir.
Okay, Ms. Mulharen.
Number 1,
Okay, any others?
no, not for
Okay.
me, no.
Dr. Matos?
None.
Dr. Kitchens?
None.
Mr. Wagner?
I also had number 1, sir.
Ms. Bradley?
None.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion for items 2 through 5.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Kitchens, second by Dr. Matos. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 1, Beauty Careers Training Center. This is to deny the application. And they'll be staying on provisional through September 30th of this year.
That's correct.
Do I have a motion?
Move to accept.
Motion by Nancy Bradley. Do I have a second?
Second?
Second by Mr. Wagner. Discussion.
Yes, sir.
Is there anybody here? Beauty Careers Training, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, we're in discussion.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Ms. Mulharen.
I just wanted an update on the financials. I see that you have done a great job with retention and placement, and you've confirmed that those percentages are accurate. So hoping that you're able to recover financially. So can you give us an update?
My name is Cece Sidler. I'm the director of the school. I'm here with Elaine Brewer, the owner of the school. And from last year, 2019 to 2020, our enrollment has increased very much, while our clinical floor, of course, because of COVID, has gone down, but we've still had an overall increase in income, and there's lots of calls, emails, website info. We're really starting to enroll a lot more students, although our clinical is still suffering, although we have started taking clinical clients now, but under mask, take temperatures, keep the door locked. We keep a minimal amount of clients in, but I think we are recovering very nicely from the previous year, especially during the conditions of COVID that we are under, and having to have completely closed for a couple of months during 2020, have still outdone income from 2019.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're recovering. Thank you for the update. I don't have anything further.
Yes, I think we're recuperating very nicely, and this is October was our 48th year anniversary of putting out cosmetologists in our county. So we've been here for 48 years, and we've had to recover at different times before, and we always have, under the same mother-daughter ownership, same location, 48 years.
Wow.
Yeah, congratulations.
If I might, Ms. Brewer has been around, and she has really has done a marvelous job over those years. And of course, over there, I think in the area she's in, I'm sure the COVID, as it affected everybody, I'm sure it's affected them quite a bit. I think they were down to 4, 5, 6 students. I think they're back up now to maybe 15, 18. So I think she's going to be okay. I mean, everybody knows her over there.
And thank you, sir. And you see our 100% retention, and our numbers for retention and placement, 100 and 100. I don't know of very many schools that do that.
No, you're right, and I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that. Your graduates have absolutely, from past experience, no problem finding opportunities for jobs, so that's true, Linda.
Well, all the owners and managers in our area stay knocking on our door and in our school and looking for our students, because they are salon ready when they graduate from beauty careers.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
B, application for extension of annual license done. Application for annual review, items 1 through 39.
I'll move to consent, sir.
Second.
Oh, sorry that I jumped so quickly at that.
Dr. Matos, who's the second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Mulheron.
And number 39 will be removed from the agenda, Mr. Chair.
Okay, let's amend that. Items 1 through 38.
Move to accept staff.
Vote.
Oh, sorry.
Gotta do the vote first.
Sorry.
Is there any further discussion for consent? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries for consent. Mr. Wagner, do you have any?
I do. Number 3, please. Number 5. That's it for now.
Ms. Bradley?
No, sir.
Dr. Kitchens?
None.
Dr. Matos?
0.
Ms. Mulheron?
None.
Mr. Williams?
None.
Okay, so for approval, we're due items 1, 2, 4, 6 through 38.
Move to accept staff recommendations.
Motion by Ms. Mulheron,
Second.
second by Dr. Matos. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Number 3, A1 Healthcare Academy, Newport Richey. They're on the phone? Okay. Good morning, A1.
They're muted.
Good morning, A1. Good morning, A1.
Try Heinz 50 seconds.
Okay,
Oh, she just self-muted herself.
let's do item number 3. They pipe in. Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to accept staff recommendation as noted.
A motion by Dr. Matos,
Second?
second by Ms. Bradley. We are in discussion.
Mr. Chair, I had a question on this. So it's denying the annual license due to failure to meet the requirements and issue a provisional license. So I just want to make sure that they knew that they're tuned into that and they're going to work to get this cleaned up.
I'm sorry, I missed that last part.
Yeah, just to make sure that they know that they're getting theirs, they're denying their annual license and they're getting a provisional license through January 31st, 2022. So I just want to make sure what are they doing to correct this? But doesn't sound like they're on, so I'm fine with the denial.
Yeah, Mr. Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, just to follow up, looks like, we do have a placement, we have a financial improvement plan before us, as well as a placement improvement plan. And institutions required to report back in May with, we're going to really need some details on this placement. Not only outreach, but also the tracking with the student information, redacted, of course, and hopefully, you okay?
Yeah.
Hopefully by May, or before May, we can have someone out to visit to actually get into the student files and make sure that everybody's being taken care of, because it's hard to have such a great retention rate, but no one's getting a job.
Yeah.
Something's,
Yeah,
doesn't add up there.
Yeah, we'll be starting back, hopefully March, we'll be starting back with on-site visits for everybody.
Okay.
If not before.
And Mr. Chair, just to add on to that, and I'm sure at the site visit, this is what we do, is to identify exactly where in the program the 40 students are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because the titles of the program, and we offer all these titles, there are jobs available in all 5 of these areas. There are jobs available, and lots of them.
Right now there are.
Right now, absolutely. And so there's no reason why we have 0% placement.
Can you hear us?
Oh, now we can. Welcome.
Hi. Sorry, I had to come in and help them get it up. There you go. You're good to go. Hi.
So,
Good morning.
Would like to introduce yourself, please.
I'm Lynn Zamorski. I'm the owner.
Well, welcome.
And with me is a new director. Her name is Deborah Edwards.
Did you want to ask the
Hello?
question? Yes, we're here. Do you want to ask the question of the school about the placement rates?
yeah, okay. Good morning. Thank you for being online. So we're trying to understand, you currently have a retention rate of almost 98%, but you have a 0% placement rate, and your titles, your programs that you offer at your school are in high demand, really you're in the Tampa Bay area. And so we're trying to understand, how do no students have careers in these areas?
I don't know, because I don't know who reported that.
You. Usually it comes from the owners.
Well, I'm an owner, but I didn't report a 0 placement rate. A lot of times when our students are out on their externship, they get hired for a job right there.
Let's have staff go back and verify with the school what their placement is.
Right.
Yeah, we'll have a report ready for you in May.
Good.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, thank you.
Number 5 is Aviation Institute of Maintenance, Castleberry.
Move to approve staff recommendations.
A motion by Mr. Wagner,
Second.
second by Nancy Bradley. We are in discussion.
So, Mr. Chair, so my question is, remind me again, because I remember.
Hold on one second, Mr. Wagner. Do we have aviation on the line?
Jerry Moore, Campus Director.
Okay, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead, Mr. Wagner. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. My question is, so heating, HVAC is the program you offered. I looked on your website, and that's truly what's being advertised. Are we doing HVAC for aircraft, or is this HVAC for autos?
Residential, commercial.
Yeah. And what, was there a plan to move into more aviation, or was it?
Well, let me give you a little history. The history is we used to have a business school that taught medical and massage therapy and those things a few years back, and then we closed that school down and we moved that program over to our school to take care of the remaining students for, job placement and things like that. And so we decided to keep the HVAC program as part of our school because we have students that are mechanically inclined that might drop from the aviation program, and the fallback was to have them go into the HVAC program so that they would leave school with not just a debt but with a skill or a trade. So that's working for us. And the problem that I have when I recruit for HVAC students, they get more interested in the aviation program, and so. COVID hit, and then we didn't put anybody in the program during COVID because of the delivery method of it. But we now have a couple of students in the program that started in December, and the plan is to develop a cohort, for the remainder of the year, so we have a cohort in HVAC.
All right, I agree, and the name Aviation Institute of Maintenance threw me off.
Yeah, but they're also they're regulated by the FAA.
Regulated by the FFA.
Yeah, so they don't fall under CIE.
Oh, okay, so they can have any program they want.
Right.
Yeah.
Based on the FAA's approval.
Okay. All right, very good.
Well, Mr. Ferguson, there is some recommendation to move that the FAA might not oversee this program, and it could be accreditation that is overseeing this program, instead of the FAA. That would mean then that we would be coming in, adding the program under CIE because you guys now would become the regulator. That's in some recommended in final stages right now as pertains to our curriculum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be good. How many students do you currently have, sir?
We have about 250. We have a retention rate of about 85%. We have a graduation rate of about 75%. And this year, placement rate was 80%.
Great. Those are big numbers. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
No further questions.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Application for license by means of accreditation, items 1 through 5. American Advanced Technicians Institute, Hialeah.
Move to approve staff recommendations.
Motion by Mr. Wagner.
Second.
Second by Dr. Kitchens. Discussion?
One of the last ones we have.
Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 2, Benet's Career Academy, Brooksville.
Move to accept staff recommendation.
A motion by Ms. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Wagner. Discussion?
They've
Yes.
been around a while, too.
Yes, sir, I do have a question. If the school's on the line or here?
No, they're not.
They're not on?
No.
Oh, he's here.
Patrick Benet, the owner.
Thank you for being here, Mr. Benet. And I was reading the information about all your schools and see that you closed one of your locations.
Yes, unfortunately, go ahead. We have 3 schools, Newport Richey, Spring Hill, and Brooksville. Together, they might be 30 miles apart. The middle location, the Spring Hill, we used the temporary distance education between March and June. When we came back in July, it's a strip mall location, so it was just really too concentrated. So we had to alternate schedules and move kids around. We didn't enroll anybody after July 1st to allow that, and we were hoping that the situation would change, but it really didn't, and I really didn't feel that it was safe. As we got near the end of the year, there were less than 20, maybe 15 kids, and we offered them the opportunity to go either to Brooksville or Newport Richey, and we gave them gas cards, said, here, this will compensate, and make the drive. We took about 10 kids that were in the hair program, moved them to Newport Richey with a teacher, so they felt very comfortable. And just unfortunately, with the pandemic, it just really didn't make sense. The lease is up there at the end of February, and I know the commission basically has a policy of not really holding on to a license. I could foresee opening in a different location. I couldn't find one, and I can't entertain it really until we have some sort of resolution. I think it's going to be at least another year, with vaccinations. So if there was a possibility, I would hold the license open and look for a location. I just don't foresee that. So I think when the time comes, then I'll come back in front of the commission and look to open up in that arena.
Well, I just want to say that I appreciate the care and the time and also the resources that you are dedicating to this, taking care of the students, moving them, sending a teacher over, and really doing this the right way. So I know how hard it can be to go down instead of up.
Yes.
It is certainly not unnoticed.
Well,
so I thank you for that, and also just to keep us updated with anything you're doing with NACAS in this regard. I'm sure you're working with them as well.
Yeah, and I certainly appreciate that. One of the things that, we certainly enjoy, I've been coming here almost 20 years, right? And our school has a legacy of another 20 years before that. The students themselves, they don't have the viewpoint of the horizon or the capability, so it's really up to us to own that and give them those opportunities. And that's really what I've tried to educate them on from day one is, you can follow all the guidelines here in school, but if you go home and you don't educate your family, then we're going to have a breakout. And so we've been very, very lucky. In all 3 campuses, we've had students that have gotten sick, staff that have gotten sick, but we've had no breakouts, no repeated illnesses because of very solid guidelines and mask wearing and so forth. And so additionally, we didn't feel that, one of the tenets of the education is really not to put an extra burden on the students. They don't know when they sign up what it's going to require. And so we've looked at the distance education option, and I'm still sort of 50-50 on that. I think that our students that are in the vocational arena really need the social interaction mentally as well as physically to learn. And so I didn't go that route completely. Temporarily, yes, but moving forward, I still have a mixed feeling about that just because of the student, the vocational student. So, but I do appreciate the commission noticing, and we look forward to, maintaining a solid 2 schools and maintaining a good financial stability so that we're still around for them, so.
Good. Well, thank you so much.
They've always done a great job, almost as well as I remember someone with a baby on their hip. And I think also one in the cradle.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Benet.
And I appreciate that, so thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
We've just never had any issues with that school.
Boca Beauty Academy, Parkland.
Move to approve staff recommendations.
Motion by Mr. Wagner,
Second?
second by Ms. Mulheren. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Number 4, KCK Beauty and Barber Academy, Jacksonville.
Move to accept staff recommendation.
A motion by Ms. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Wagner, and we do have them on the line. Can you please good morning, and please introduce yourself for the record. Hello?
Oh, muted.
Can you please take yourself off of mute?
How long ago has that?
Well, let's continue on. If they pipe in, they pipe in.
You were up in,
We're in discussion.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I do have a comment. Actually, it is a contingency. And in their barber instructor program description, it's in the catalog, it is incorrect. How I read their description, it implies that there is a state-required licensing credential for an instructor. And in Florida, there is not.
Nope.
There's nothing wrong. I mean, it's great to have a teacher education program, but it is not required, nor is there a licensing credential for barber or cosmetology instructors. And so by saying this, I really want to kind of send the message to everybody to take, if you have an instructor program in either Cosmo or barber, to take a look at how you're describing it, and to make sure that you are very clear about what it is, and kind of just as important, what it's not. So anyway, I noticed it. This was real obvious on this one. There are other institutions on the agenda that have instructor programs. I'm not going to bring up anybody else, but I thought this would be a good opportunity just to remind everyone.
Okay, and you're adding that as a contingency?
That's a contingency for this
And
institution.
also a public announcement.
And a public, yes.
Is there any further discussion?
there's also nothing called a master barber either.
Right.
There's no further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, MECTEC Institute, Orlando.
Move to accept staff recommendation.
A motion by Ms. Mulheren,
Second.
second by Ms. Bradley. We're in discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Annual review of license by means of accreditation, 1 through 9.
Move to consent.
I have a motion by Dr. Mato, second by Ms. Mulheron.
Mr. Benet is back there.
Second.
Nancy.
You were going to make the original one, right?
Yes.
I thought I heard your voice. Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you have that? Just a.
She
Dr.
beat me to
Kitchen,
it
don't
again.
worry.
Hearing no further
we gotta
discussion
let
for
you be
consent,
next.
all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Mr. Williams, you'd like any to pull, please?
None, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Mulheron,
None.
Dr. Matos,
I don't have any.
Dr. Kitchens,
None.
Mr. Wagner,
None.
Ms. Bradley.
None.
And Chair will entertain a motion to approve items 1 through 9 in E.
Okay, Dr. Kitchen, go.
No, I just can't make myself do it. Yes, I so much.
Dr. Kitchens makes a motion, I think. Do I have a second?
I'll second Dr. Kitchen.
Second by Dr. Matos. Discussion for items 1 through 9. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Application,
It is a little cold in here, Mr. Chair.
well, if
I
you're
don't
here,
think
if
so.
you were here at 7:45 this morning or 8 o'clock, it was extremely hot.
Well, it's how can I say, it's distracting my
We about
thought
through.
process.
We're about through. It's hardly noticeable, sir. Let's keep going.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Sounds like it's boys against girls here. It's women who are freezing, and the men, this one just said he's hot too.
It's hot in here.
Oh, my gosh.
Switch it from electricity to whatever other power system.
It's cold.
Okay, why don't we do this, Ms. Hood, next time? Switch sides.
Yeah.
Again, applications for programs, approvals, and modifications, items 1 through 8. Your choice.
Move to consent?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Bradley, second by Mr. Wagner. Hearing no further discussion for consent, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries for consent. Mr. Williams,
None, sir.
okay, Ms. Mulheron,
I have number 2, but I also just wanted to let you know that I sent staff some basic suggestions on attendance and faculty hours and so forth for online.
that was for number 2.
No, I'm pulling number 2, but I have
Okay,
number
I got you.
1, 3, 4, and 7 that I just sent
Okay.
recommendations for.
So you're pulling number 2.
Yes.
Dr. Matos,
I have none.
None.
Ms. Bradley,
I also had number 2.
Mr. Wagner.
I had number 2 and no additional.
Okay. So for approval of 1, 3 through 8,
Move to accept staff recommendations.
a motion by Ms. Mulheron,
Second.
second by Mr. Wagner. We're in discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Number 2, Affinity Hair Academy, Orlando.
Move to accept staff recommendations, Mr. Chair.
I have a motion by Mr. Wagner,
Second.
second by Ms. Mulheron. Discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I don't know if anyone is here or available.
No,
from the
they're
school.
not.
Okay. I was confused at the asynchronous selection there. It seemed like it was more of a synchronous delivery to me with Zoom and then the directed study assignments on their own. I was also confused with the sign-in sheets for attendance. They mentioned they were kept under lock and key at school, so it just seems like it's not really an asynchronous online delivery to me, but that's why I wanted to ask the school some questions. And there was no online orientation either, so it just doesn't seem like an online program to me, although it might be a synchronous one, but there was an asynchronous request, so.
As your contingency, you would like to have clarification.
Clarification, yes.
Okay,
That'd be
so
good.
noted. Mr. Wagner, are you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I had the same concern regarding the explanation of the online modality, and also they say theoretical classes. Well, I'm interested in how much do you plan, what's your plan for, in this course that's X hours, I plan to offer this much of it online,
Okay.
and this much of it, they're coming
We'll
in.
have them explain that. That's a good point, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so,
Can we just bring them back?
We can.
All the programs?
Yeah, I mean,
for the modifications?
yeah, these are some serious questions.
I just need a motion for a licensure delay.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, so I have a motion by Ms. Mulheren, second by Dr. Kitchens for a licensure delay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. I just don't understand. You're on the agenda, and you have no representation to, it could have been a simple answer, but now they'll be delayed a couple months. Makes no sense.
Joey. Nancy was.
G, motion for extension of provisional license for 1 year. We just have one.
Move to accept staff recommendations.
Motion by Mr. Wagner,
Second.
second by Ms. Mulheren. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
To the program.
H, motion for extension of licensure, items 1 through 5.
Move to accept staff recommendation.
Second.
For consent,
Oh,
or?
I'm sorry, I thought I'm distracted. Move to consent.
She's cold. She's
Second.
freezing.
Yeah, I'm cold.
I'm not thinking right. I'm way too cold.
Who did the second over there?
I seconded what I assumed that she meant since it agreed with what I want to do, and I'm
Okay.
not cold.
It's kind of amusing when I look over there and you're sitting there. It's like you're preaching because they're both sitting there like this.
Some because it's cold, others because we're ready.
Is there any further discussion for consent? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries for consent. Mr. Williams, would you like to pull any?
No, sir.
Okay, Ms. Mulheren,
None.
Dr. Matos,
No,
Dr. Kitchens,
None.
Ms. Bradley,
none.
None.
Mr. Wagner, none. Chair will entertain a motion for approval of items 1 through 5.
So moved.
Motion by Mi-
Second.
Motion by Mr. Wagner, second by Dr. Matos. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Gonna get caught up on the computer here.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Touch my hand.
Aye. Motion for third extension of license? None. Motion for request for extension of time to comply with contingencies? We have one. Iron Hat Coding Academy, Miami.
Move to approve staff recommendations for Iron Hat Coding Academy.
I have a
Second.
motion by Mr. Wagner, second by Dr. Matos. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Substantive change approval. Like to take these one at a time. Okay, number 1, Brilliant Academy Health Center, Orlando.
Move to accept.
I have a motion by Ms. Mulheron,
Second.
second by Ms. Bradley, and we have somebody in person, or are you just stretching your legs?
Come on down.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Marie Jean Gilles. I'm the owner.
Welcome.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Okay,
Mr. Chair, good morning, Dr. Gillis. We had a chance to speak during the break, Dr. Gillis and I, and she let me know that she's already submitted some information to Sarah, I think it is. Yes, to Sarah regarding her status with the Board of Nursing. And we were looking at the staff recommendation and how the executive director will make the decision once all this information is reviewed and, any questions we have that we're discussing with her. So it was like, yes, the provisional license is issued through July 31st, 2021, but it may change based on the documentation that has been sent by the, via the Board of Nursing or by the school to address any of the issues as to why this decision was made. So I just wanted everybody to know that we had a conversation and that, just submit anything else, but that she's already turned in some things that may help her. Is that right?
Yes.
Did I explain it correctly? Okay.
Thank you. We did send all the information because for some reason, Pearson VUE do not upgrade our score. So we are 80% on 20 and 21. Now we're supposed to be 100% with the new text taker.
okay.
And she just sent some things in last week, so I know
Yes.
it hasn't made it through the channels yet.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Caddis Technical Institute, Kissimmee.
Move to approve staff recommendations.
I have a motion by Mr. Wagner,
Second.
second by Dr. Kitchens. We're in discussion.
Mr. Chair, I had a question.
We have somebody on the line.
We have somebody on the line. Good morning. Please introduce yourself for the record.
Good morning, Wilmari Orca. I'm the school coordinator.
Welcome. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Wagner.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I had a question about your placement rate. On our sheet, it's showing that you had a 4% placement rate and a 93% retention rate. And seeing your titles that your programs you offer, it's hard to believe you really have a 4% placement rate.
Yes, I submit a statement because I do have students that were working in salons due to the COVID. They moved to work in the house, and some of them are not longer working until this pandemic is over. So the CIE do not approve like working from home as a placement, so that's why it goes so low on the percentage.
Yeah, so I see it in there. So let me ask you though, now that we're starting, well, where we are opening up, I don't know about your city, but are these students now starting to filter into jobs in outside of their home?
Well, I have some that they are trying to move on, because these people is like learning to live with this pandemic. So they're trying to go back to work, but I haven't received any information if they start working since the moment I made my statement. But most of them, because they have little kids and stuff like that, they are afraid to go to the salon. So they decide to stay home. I do recommend, because the state, the DVPR, if you close, for example, if you close your garage that has no enter to your house and you make a little bathroom, they can give you a license, like for a beauty salon. But at the same time, I can't force the students to do it as well. It's their decision. So that's why that number is being a little bit difficult for us.
No problem. Thank you for the explanation.
No problem, anytime.
Are you doing, I heard you say that you have not been contacted. Is the institution doing any type of outreach to keep in connection with these students to find out what they're doing?
Yes, I do keep in contact with the students. Some of them change numbers, so I don't know. I don't have a way. I send emails, but if they don't answer, I have no other way to find them. But most of them, yes, I do contact them. Some of them moved to, for example, Puerto Rico. Some of them moved to New York. So they are not working in Florida area. Some of them are not even working. They're working like in retailers. So I am the one who keep contact with the students, but if they change phones or they don't, I have no other way to contact them.
Okay, so if we had somebody appear at your school asking for your contact log, do you keep a notebook and dates of when you're contacting these students?
Well, when I update the chart, because I stay with the chart send me, when I update the chart, when I say it, I say with the last date I contact the students. So I know which date it was the day I contact them.
Okay, just a suggestion, what you might want to do if you can't reach the student, go on social media, go on Facebook, Instagram, and whatever social media platforms are out there and try to track them that way.
Yes, I do that sometimes. Not all of them, but I have a couple of them on the school Facebook, so I try to there as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. And just for the record, my fingers are cold.
Thank you.
And it's well wrapped.
I have lost taste and smell.
Years ago.
Then get out of here. Number 3, FVI School of Nursing and Technology, Miami.
Move to accept staff recommendation.
I have a motion by Ms. Bradley,
A second?
second by Ms. Mulheron. Are you waiting to come up, sir?
I am.
Come on up.
I drove four hours just to be here.
Good. Welcome. Introduce yourself for the record.
I'm Richard Zayden from FEI School of Nursing and Technology, and I'm the compliance officer there.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
a couple of things. Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to make sure you realize your Larkin Community Hospital expiration is coming up next month, and there was no auto renewal on that.
Right.
So
Yeah,
just want.
we're going through every clinical agreement right now, not just for nursing, but for all the
Sure.
other programs.
Okay, so I just want to point that out. But then also, just in general, on your online delivery, you have a 48-hour response time for faculty to respond to students, and I just would offer a suggestion to reconsider that to 24 hours, especially for adult students who might be juggling job and kids and so forth at the same time. And just also, if you could clarify your attendance for your synchronous delivery and labs, especially for your students and faculty up front, so that they're clear, and it'll save you a lot of headaches, right? And And also just consider some virtual faculty hours for your online students.
Just so you know, we have this program at Miramar, and we're in fact, we're going through ASIN in first 2 weeks in February. And we're doing all of that, and this program will mirror that program. We've worked out all the kinks, made all the mistakes already. I'm sure there's a few more we can make, but
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Have you started discussing your new agreement with Larkin?
I don't know what the state, where we are with Larkin at this point.
Okay, I'm just curious to see if they're going to charge you.
I can let them, I can let you know.
No, that's okay. I was just curious to see if they're going to charge you for clinical sites.
I just want to follow here. So your PN program got approved in July of last year,
Yes,
and your ADM program also got approved last year
for Miramar, right?
for Miramar. Okay. Okay. And so have you enrolled any students in the PN program already?
No. COVID has slowed things down. I know that, we.
For everybody.
Yeah, right.
We're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries, and thank you for driving up the 4 hours from Miami.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You
Safe
too.
travels back.
Number 4, James International Academy of Health, North Lauderdale.
Move to approve staff recommendations, sir.
I have a motion by Mr. Wagner,
Second?
second by Ms. Mulheron. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Sacred Heart International Institute, North Lauderdale.
Move to accept staff recommendation.
I have a motion by Ms. Bradley,
Second.
second by Dr. Kitchens. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The National Business Institute of Florida, come on up. You made the trip, you might as well introduce yourself. He came in panicked, because since we did the new schools first, he thought his school already went through, so.
I've arrived on the wrong day before in my life, so it wouldn't have been that much of a surprise. I'm Trey Williams. I'm the president and owner of what is now Fleet Force Truck Driving School.
Hey, welcome. Chair will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Matos, second by Mr. Wagner. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, committee. Have a nice afternoon.
You too. L, branch campus applications, none. Now, are branch campuses independent of the main, or are they part of the main?
I guess that all depends on where the main is.
M, name change, none.
Depends upon whether you're cold.
Agent training programs, none. Institutions ordered to appear back before the commission, ALPI Technical Education Center, DeLand. Run the line.
Move to approve staff recommendations.
Mr. Wagner. Do I have a second?
Second?
Second by Ms. Mulheron. We're in discussion. ALPI, are you on the line?
Yes, this is Al Miller, Deputy Director of the Agricultural Labor Program. We are the owner and operator of ATEC.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
And it's still good morning.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Now, if this virus will just go away, we'll have a good year.
Yep. Is there any discussion?
I have a question, Mr. Chair.
Okay, go ahead.
So are you getting reimbursement from the state's farm worker program, farm worker assistance program for?
Not anymore. We were funded for to offer classes. They changed their structure several years back. The school itself is funded entirely by the Agricultural Labor Program Incorporated, the statewide nonprofit, and tuition and things that we charge are strictly to cover the cost of the classes is all they're done. The cost of the operating the facility, staff, everything is covered by our Agricultural Labor Program through its unrestricted funds.
Okay, very good, because I know we have the farm worker program also, which covers classes for us, but.
Well, with us, we were with them several years ago. We were with the Department of Education Adult Migrant and Seasonal Farm Worker Program. We had a training class up there, which is really how APEC originated. We had a training grant with them, but we were also their emergency assistance provider statewide, and they decided to change their structure and put us just as this emergency assistance, and then they reassigned the funds from the training to their other school, mostly school boards and community colleges.
Mm-hmm.
And that was about 3 or 4 years ago they did that restructuring of how they were delivering the services. So we became their full-time emergency assistance provider.
Okay.
So we do get funds from DOE, but not specifically for training.
Not for training, though. Interesting.
Right. Yeah, just for emergency assistance to farm workers.
Yeah, and it came up earlier.
We're a community action agency also, but not in Volusia County. We're not the Volusia County Community Action Agency. We're in 4 counties down in the middle of the state.
Yeah, and it came up earlier, and you may have heard Commissioner Bradley talking about Career Source might be another avenue for you.
I need to pursue that because I do sit as the ALFE representative on the Career Source Polk board. And of course, that doesn't help us with the school up there, but that can give me some connections into the Career Source up there also. And then to get we have some recognition up there, and we have worked with the Lake County Community Action Agency in the past, and hopefully as things progress, we'll be able to offer some training through them also. So we'll get perhaps some reimbursement for 1 or 2 students through the Community Action Network.
Okay. Oh, very good. No further questions. It surely is an important cause, so we want you to get funding for those students.
We're going to try everything we can.
Did we do a vote? No. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now to the back of the agenda. We'll take Roman numeral 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6.
On the closed school report, Mr. Chair, we're going to remove that infinite beauty.
Okay, so noted.
So I move to accept all reports.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Bradley, second by Mr. Wagner. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Before we get to comments, Ms. Hood, when's the next meeting?
March 30-31 in Legends, which is
Okay.
at the golf course.
Okay.
March 30-31, and it's going to be at the golf course, Legends.
Oh, here, I gotcha. I thought you were saying a different resort.
No.
Okay.
Okay, comments by commission members.
Well done, well done.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I want to say thank you for your leadership and willingness to step up and be our chair again for another
Thanks.
year. I appreciate you keeping the agenda moving forward.
And our vice chair.
And our vice chair, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I think we are probably in better shape with Vice than we have been in a long time. Of course, my definition and yours may be different. But Mr. Chairman, if I might, I want to thank you personally for those of you who have been kind enough since we last met. It's been a very tumultuous time for my family and me, and in many different ways. You folks have been most kind. And I specialize in family, and I'm proud to be a part of this one, and I'm grateful. I would also say, in spite of the fact that Mr. Williams reminds me of one of the old masters framed there in that beautiful artistic setting, I miss Levi's jocularity in our meetings, and brother, for what it's worth, I'm looking forward to seeing you again.
I'll be back soon.
Good.
And I'll sit on your lap, Santa Claus.
You may be surprised the question you get.
I would just like to thank everybody, as always, for doing their homework and going through all these files. Nowadays, people don't realize the files because they're all on the computer, thanks to Joey. But back in the days when we had to tote around 4 big boxes, and by the time this meeting would be over today, you would see all the papers coming underneath the skirt of this table. And it takes a lot of work, a lot of time on your all's part. Staff, again, has done an excellent job. Our attorney, who likes chocolates, the executive director, Ms. Hood, Risa, just everybody. They're shorthanded, as Sam mentioned earlier today, but they're still getting the job done. And Joey, can't leave out Joey, and Brendan. And everybody's just has done an excellent job, meeting after meeting after meeting, especially this year during COVID. It has been difficult. We did have two fully remote meetings, right?
Yes.
Online meetings, but for some reason I had to go to Tallahassee to do the remote meetings. But it's just been a tough year. We're continuing into 2021. Hope there's an end in sight. But I'm just grateful to have just be working with such wonderful people that care. Number one priority, of course, is the students, but we also care about the schools, and it comes out in our conversations with the schools. And you won't find that in a lot of the regulatory boards. So, thank you, everybody.
Failed to mention Victor back behind the curtain
Victor
over there.
back
We got
there.
Victor Sorey back there hiding.
Superman. There he is. Thank you for cleaning the podium, Victor, after Bob left.
Nancy had.
Nancy?
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
What?
I thought you were going to say something.
No, I just mentioned Victor, Superman.
When we wanted to say something, I think she had her hand up.
Oh, come on, before we adjourn.
Nothing we can help her with.
That's right. You keep him in line.
Hello. I came to this meeting for 2 reasons. My name is Linda Allenbaugh. I'm with Gulf Coast Institute of Career Development in Pensacola. And we have had quite a little trouble getting our license renewed this year. And I want to leave knowing that we're good. And ours was in the 24 or 30 something that you group checked.
We did consent on.
So is our license renewed?
There probably are some contingencies.
Well, we've been having them, and we've had, we're an extension, which we're getting to the end of. I'm really very anxious, and I drove all the way down here.
Just excuse me for one moment.
Yes.
What page are they on?
24.
Number 24 on page 10 of the extended license, of the extended agenda. Yes. You only have one contingency on here, and that is to send a submission of an updated faculty listing form to include current license information for all instructors, and that's it.
Okay.
So it looks like you're pretty good.
Okay, thank you. My other big concern is the new bill that was passed by Governor DeSantis that reduces the hours required for nail technicians and estheticians. That's who we train. And we have yet to receive anything from anybody telling us what we're to train in these hours. We've not received a curriculum or a breakdown of the lesser services and lesser hours. So who do we contact so we can change our curriculum to accommodate that?
Cosmetology board.
Unless the Board of Cosmetology has,
Right.
as far as I know, they haven't
Mike.
developed any
Microphone.
program standards.
Microphone. Mike.
As far as I know, the Board of Cosmetology, Barbering, or DBPR, hasn't developed any curricular framework or program standards for the new hours. So, I can't answer your question. There were a lot of folk from our sector, and even I think some of the public that had lobbied the legislature not to. They were going to cut a lot more hours out of it, so there was a compromise. But as far as the curricular framework and program standards, we don't have them. And the legislature is the one that passed it. Governor DeSantis simply signed into law what the legislature passed. It was effective the 1st of January, and as far as what any new requirements are, I can't answer it. They just didn't, we don't have any. Hopefully in the very near future, once and how they do it, I'm not sure, but once the committees get together and develop a curricular framework or program standards, we'll certainly publish them.
Thank you.
I would, you don't necessarily have to change your program.
That's right.
These are the minimum requirements that are in this new statute. Those are minimum requirements. There's going to be a lot of institutions that will continue offering just what they've always offered.
Absolutely.
Well, point in fact,
is,
I have a student who is aware of this law, who has insisted that she has earned her 180 hours and wants her graduation papers. She's not completed our course, and yet she's insisting that I write the paperwork, and I don't know who's standing behind me in this.
If she contracted for, on the enrollment agreement, if she has signed the enrollment agreement for those hours, then you don't have to graduate her.
Well,
Absolutely.
and that's what I said, but she said, well, when are you going to comply with the law that went into effect?
Okay. First of all, again, those are minimum hours.
Okay.
What you decide your program is what the program is. If they want to go somewhere else and take that program, that's their choice. What you have is yours. She can't dictate to you what you have to do.
Okay.
And it clearly says minimum hours.
Yep.
And my final question is, with both the nail specialty and the facial specialty program already having such low hours, we've thought about for years increasing the number of hours for both of those programs. Would we be within the law to say 300 for nails and 350 for esthetician?
Your program is your program.
Okay.
You want to offer above the minimum, that's your prerogative.
And they have the choice to come to our school or go elsewhere.
They have a choice to either come and take your program or go take Alan's for 50 hours.
Okay.
I mean, you look at his hair, it will take much more than 50 hours.
Oh, I know nothing about hair, nothing at all. Only facials and nails.
No, your program is your program. And
Okay.
the statute clearly says minimum These are minimum. So you can't offer less than that, but it doesn't say you can't offer more than that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate all of your help and assistance, and you'll probably still be hearing from me. We are proud to be celebrating our 33rd year as a school in the state of Florida in April.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And except for COVID closing us down for a short time, we've been going. Thank you very much. And I'm so glad that y'all are here behind us.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
Okay, if there's no any further comments, motion to adjourn.
So moved. Go for it.
Second.